There we go. There it is. There it is. Boom, 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 ba-da-dum, boom. And then the one that's not live, let me switch the stream key on that one. Do, 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 do. I'm gonna try to go live horizontal and vertical today on YouTube. That's my risky birthday click of the day. It's my risky birthday click of the day. All right, it looks like it's on. It looks like we've got them all up. Oh, and it immediately goes right in the struggle bus there, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Let me drop that data rate. Probably don't need it as high as I have it set. All right. Let's say we're like 90% there. Just going to triple check that this is still on. Okay, close that, close that. And we should be good. We should be good. All right, I am getting some encoder drops, so I'm not going to do the two. We're not going to do 2 streams to YouTube at once. All right, all right. Quickly changed our minds on that one. Quickly changed our minds on that one. As soon as I see any encoder overload settings pop up, I'm like, nope. We gave it the old 3-second try. The short stuff has been doing really well, so I'll worry about the vertical or the horizontal streams. I'll worry about the horizontal YouTube streams some other time. The quick nope, yeah. I haven't had any encoder overloaded errors in a very long time, so I was like, I'll turn it on, and then if I see anything, I'm just immediately turning it off. The quickest nope of all time. Quickest nope ever. I think you guys might be able to see the frame rate overlay in the top right too. I have this running on Vulkan. I have this running on DXVK now. Some guy actually posted a full tutorial with how to do all the settings correctly for Starcraft on SC Reddit. Somebody made a big Vulkan tutorial for Starcraft 2 on Windows. DXVK is a little bit less buggy than it was before, so I figured I'd mess with it. I'm also running the NVIDIA RTX Auto HDR, so, you know, we're pushing all the boundaries, pushing all the limits of technology today. We got lots of cool, funky stuff running. You see it in the top left, 131 FPS? Yeah. So I have it hard capped. It can't go above like 141. My FPS is supposed to not go above 141. That way VSync never turns on. You want to have vertical sync enabled for some reason, but you don't want your monitor to actually turn G-Sync off. Basically, when your monitor goes between its maximum refresh rate and any other refresh rate, that switches between vertical sync and G-Sync. And G-Sync is just much better, so you would ideally always want it to be in G-Sync mode because you get no tearing, better latency. Vertical sync will give you a little bit of latency and no tearing, which is why you don't want it. You don't actually want it to go into vertical sync mode. So if you have like 144 hertz or 120 hertz monitor, and you don't want your game to have extra input lag, but you also don't want screen tearing, the best way to avoid that is to run your game at about 3 or 4 FPS under your monitor's maximum refresh rate. So if you had a 144 hertz monitor like me, the FPS cap that you would want would be 141 basically max. Otherwise, it'll accidentally kick on VSync and you'll get delay. Aw, thank you. Thanks, Crunt. Thank you. Yeah, we'll be getting nice stiff margarita tonight. That's on the docket. That's on the docket. That's on the list. You better believe. You better believe, sir. What's the enemy this game? Immortal, Colossus, High Templar? Okay, okay. Well, then I guess we don't go Diamondbacks. I guess we don't. Let's just get our upgrades. Get like 2 more factories. I can't really afford any more factories. So by that I mean, let's just do nothing and wait until we have enough money until we can do something. How does that sound? Great, grand, wonderful, fantastic. But the game's a lot more responsive in Vulcan. I couldn't really figure out the configuration file stuff before, so the Reddit guy basically solving that problem for me made it a lot easier. Where do you set the maximum FPS? So the best way to do these settings is through the NVIDIA control panel. If you use AMD, I don't really know the specific setup for you guys, but if you use NVIDIA and you want the lowest latency possible, if you set in the NVIDIA control panel, if you set your global system settings to ultra low latency mode, some games can bug out a little bit with it, but that will actually limit. That will do the limiting for you. So that's what I do because I use the ultra low latency on everything. But the other option is that you could set a per game profile with like Riva Tuner Statistics Server or something like that. You could use Riva Tuner Statistics Server and just set it to cap individual games or all of your games at that amount. But yeah, there's a people like to argue. People like to argue over whether the NVIDIA control panel FPS limiter has more or less latency than the Riva Tuner Statistics Server FPS limiter. You know, that's yeah. I think you start getting into like engine development semantics at that point about whether games are specifically tuned for the frame buffer to be full or clear. So, yeah. I'm pressing Q to build stuff. My brain is rotted. I might redo some of my settings today. What is this anyway? Double edge. We receive the same damage we heal. Enemy units have a barrier. We receive all the damage we deal? Oh my gosh. You have to kill these trains and then your trains kill themselves? Are you kidding me? Oh no. Oh no. I mean, what the fudge? Okay, so he's okay because of his shield battery. But my guys are all just... I don't have anything with that kind of sustain. I don't have anything with that kind of sustain. There are many variables in that argument. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think I'm cooked, right? If I make enough units to deal with him, then my units will just blow themselves up. Right? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I mean, I'll try to summon my giant battlecruiser guy because I think that's it. I think that's really all I can do here. If I can. I don't think it's going to be enough. No, not even close. I just have to... What exactly is it? What do I do now? Do the tanks... Well, maybe it's because I was using the siege tank's tentacles. Oh, I lifted up both of my bases. That's not good. You guys can tell my hotkeys are all exactly the same in this game as they are in Stormgate. Yeah, I was going to say, the siege tank shoots infested Terrans. So the infested Terrans should be the damage, right? Like, maybe as long as the tanks don't hit them with their tentacles, it'll be okay. That's my guess. Because, look, this guy... Oh, no, he is damaging himself. Yeah, the tentacle DPS is too high. That's the problem. What I do is bring the SCVs over and just repair them. Bring the SCVs over and repair them. Yeah, it seems like the Baneling guys only count as damage against the tanks if the siege tanks directly hit the enemy unit. So it seems like only when the tanks get a direct hit does it count. Which means there's only one thing to do. 3 words for you. What an absolute. Oh, my teammate. Oh, he's done. He's done. He's out. He's done. He's given up. He's totally out. That's okay. That's okay. That's actually, it's not impossible. He's a Carax, right? Yeah, so those guys, once they land and then do their thing, it doesn't really count in that way. Now that I have to do it by myself, it should be a little easier. We just need a lot of batteries. Does he have all the upgrades? No, he doesn't. He didn't even get them all. Okay, okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We just don't want the tanks to have to engage at melee range. That's basically it, right? That's basically it. Some of them are engaging at melee range, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. They will self-select themselves out of the fight, I think, right? Basically. Are you kidding? I'm so close. I'm so close.
The enemy has mobilized. We should move to intercept.
How do I blow this up without doing the friendly fire damage, right? This has to be enough. This has to be enough. No! It has to be enough. No, it's got 1 health. Okay. Oh! Yeah. It's not a good time. We're riding the struggle bus. We're riding it. Infrastructure should be good as well. Yeah, I'm trying to use that for fodder. I'm trying to throw down a little bit of extra fodder. How about this? For my birthday, I get to do a little solo co-op mission. This is fun. This is exciting. This is the most exciting co-op I've played in a little bit. Now that I have to do Brutal plus solo. Nathan, I thought you were good at this. Yeah, you know, but I've also just been grinding Stormgate all month, okay? So you can pretend I'm bad for 3. You guys you secretly already think I'm bad, so it's okay. In a way, that just makes this more impressive. Subverting your expectations that I'm a high-level player is an important part of impressing you with my occasional W's. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, some of you will die, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. It's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that I'm okay with. It's acceptable. And we've just got infinite money, so there's really no risk of running out of stuff. We just keep making the cannon wall bigger while we have opportunities to do so. That's the biggest thing. And the shield batteries have a ability that makes your structure invincible for a short period of time, so that's a big reason why you want to have a lot of them. And I'll summon the Apocalypse in the middle of his army. He should have Warp Gate. I think we want a couple of his super sentries. Because his sentries are actually very good. Yeah, let's get the sentry power-ups. We could steal his units. We could steal the AI's units here. Looks like that one should be enough. This has always been the weaker point, so we're going to send guys down there. Send them down there. And once it crashes, boom. It kills everything it lands on. So that self-damage thing becomes a little bit less of a big deal. But as long as we keep putting batteries, they'll just keep giving the cannons shields and temporary invincibility. So we are good. We are good. Yeah, this is the weak side, right? That's the weak side. So the sentries for Karax raise the attack speed of photon cannons and stuff, so I'm just putting a bunch of extra ones of them around so I don't have to think about it too much. I think we're good here. Should be able to clear this one, right? It's low, it's low. We're almost there. I think we've got this train, right? I think we're good. Nice, nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Won't lie, this looks pretty nice with the RTX HDR feature as well. AI overpowered. The other upgrade I got should increase the shield recharge time. It should make the shields recharge faster in the shield battery. The energy should recharge faster on the shield battery. Sorry. So they'll just be a little bit more effective as well. Happy birthday, man. To honor you, I flamed Caldor and the Starcraft subreddit in your name. Well, you know, I don't hold grudges. You know that. You know I don't hold any grudges, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you thinking of me in a loving manner while you're doing other things that make you happy. How about that? I'll say that much. God bless you, sir. Yeah, I decided that today was not the day where I wanted to get dog rushed. Today was not the day I wanted to get dog rushed. And I did set up this DirectX thing for SC2, or the Vulcan thing for SC2, so I was like, maybe it's gonna work a little better, you know, kind of a deal. So that was a big part. That was a big part of getting everything set up today. Yeah, we are good. We are absolutely good. We've got this in the bag. I have created the unstoppable. Ah, no high ground power. Not even in co-op. Fair. That's fair. I think we'll have to do... Oh, this is the last train. This is the last train because we failed the previous one. Yeah, we're good. We're there then. We're there. Oh, he's killing us. Huh. Well, we have a second base, so I think we just have to kill the train first and everything's okay, right? Right? We just kill the train and we win? We just got to kill the train before he destroys our expansions. Yeah, he did all of his stuff, and then he just left the game, so we have infinite money. It's okay, guys. All we have to do is kill the train. All we have to do is kill the train. Ah! Okay, we win. We win. Have you beaten a mission with polarity, propagate, and invisible? That's like asking me if I've ever willingly crawled through, like, barbed wire butt naked for no reason. No. No, I have not. No, I have not done that. I've seen it in a Saw movie, but I don't know that I would willingly choose to put myself through that experience. I don't know that I'd willingly choose to put myself through that experience. Red pill or blue pill, Nate? You know, I think I'm not touching that one today. Thank you, though. I know I've got the Matrix thing on, but the when people use words like that online, it never means the Matrix. So we're not going there. Look at that! Look at that! First game of the stream. We have to 1v2 co-op. We have to 1v2 co-op. And it gets a little bit dicey. It gets a little bit dicey. We have to carry our baby deer teammate. He was a little baby deer. He was a little baby deer in the headlights. He was a little baby deer in the headlights. Crawling through shards of glass after coating yourself in salt and vinegar. Yeah, exactly. Somebody's like, Nathan, you don't deliberately put yourself in the hardest challenge possible just so you can feel miserable when you fail 500 times? And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm a psychopath. I'm absolutely mad. Feels good, man. Feels amazing. Happy birthday. Thanks, Jebedo. Thank you for the gift subs. I appreciate that. It's nice. Just nice having people come hang around. Just playing some games on my birthday. Just chilling. Nothing crazy going on. We'll get a couple cheeky matches in. We'll see. We'll see if we can make some shenanigans happen. What's a good score when you bowl? Oh God. For me, if I get over 100, that's pretty cool. If I get to 100, that's like a big deal for me. I think for like professional players at the very highest level, it's more about like how many games you don't get a 300 or something, right? Don't pros. Isn't like the professional average above 250 or something like that? I have no idea. I have no idea how good actual bowlers are. I used to bowl a lot when I was younger. I played Starcraft for many years though, so my wrist, especially my right wrist, is like very weak. I've got a lot of like long-term, ligament damage from gaming and stuff. So it's kind of like one of those. It's kind of like one of those things where I don't really bowl that much. I just really love to do it, and I love bowling. I love doing that. So I'm not very good at it at all, though. I have absolutely no skill whatsoever. I used to have a pretty good throw, but if I do like 2 or 3 proper throws, then my hand just hurts. Yeah, my hand hurts a lot when I bowl, so I just don't really do it that often. But today is gonna be today is that once in every couple of years that I do it. So I'll probably just like take an edible before I go in or something that'll make my wrist feel better. It's usually what I do when it hurts a lot. Just a little something for that. Nothing better for chronic pain. Nothing better for chronic pain. I'll tell you that much. You had surgery on your elbow for your dominant arm. You find consistency hard. Yeah, exactly. It's gotten easier with the Starcraft because I made a lot of my settings ergonomic. Like I was able to find a way to make my settings much more ergonomic, but I don't actually have like, I don't push myself to play this game as fast as I used to. I know some of my fans have gotten upset over the years that I take the game a bit less seriously, but that's also a big reason why I don't have wrist pain that much anymore. So I'm pretty excited. It'll be my first time bowling, I think, since 2021. I think we went once in Vegas. We bowled about half a game. We bowled about half a game, and I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow if we keep going. So then we just stopped, but it was a fun day. Yeah, 300 APM for 8 hours a day. Not 8 hours a day. You got to remember, too, for Nathanias, it was like 12 hours a day for a long time. I don't even think I lowered my stream to 7 hours until what? When did we stop going 7 days a week? When did we stop going 7 days a week for 10 hours a day? Was it like 2016, 2017 maybe was when I finally broke on that? I think I finally broke on that in like 2017. But for the first like 6 or 7 years, no, it was 12 hours. 12 hours, sometimes more, every day. And I was trying really hard back then too. I tried really, really hard. That's why I always got so pissed. I was like, man, I can't believe how dumb I am. How could I possibly put this much time and effort into something and be bad at it? Then I realized I wasn't bad. It was just everybody telling me I'm bad because they didn't like me. And I took it seriously like an idiot. Silly me. Silly me. Turns out all the people that tell you that NA Grandmaster is easy can't actually get NA Grandmaster themselves. Or a Europe, which I've also gotten. Funny that. Hey, Katie. Ever since you started biking, your wrists have gotten stronger and you get less pain? That's awesome. It's nice to hear. Yeah, biking sounds fun. Little difficult, I think, with... We don't have too much in the way of storage for a bike here. Maybe the next place we live, it'll be a little bit easier. There's not really any bike roads around here. You guys know America. America's like the worst place in the world for bikes. All the roads and the towns are designed so that there's no room for anybody except cars. You guys all know that. Am I surprised that my first game of the day, I'm just getting like one base all in by some random Zerg player? No, this is usually what happens, right? Nobody likes playing against us. Nobody ever likes to play against us. We're used to this though. Do you guys think I'll get a macro game for my birthday? Or do you think I'll get cheesed every game? The last time I tried to play Starcraft, the last time I tried to stream Starcraft, I know people were upset because it was a short stream and not much happened. But I got one based. I got cheesed every single game that I streamed. So I just want to know, do you guys think I'll get a macro game for my birthday? Or is this just going to be a bunch of people all-inning me all day again? What do you think? Do we have any estimates, any guesses? We'll get at least 2 macro games today? Okay, thank you. I hope so. That would be nice. I would love that. Nobody ever wants to play with me. And maybe I deserve that, but it still feels bad, right? It still feels bad. Nobody ever wants to play with Nathan. Well, I'll try to get out a Raven. It's going to be hard to go across the map since I don't really have that much stuff. I don't have any speed upgrades. I can't get a speed upgrade, so I think we're probably just stuck. Today we're only allowed to have fun. Yeah, well, you guys know, obviously, I can't make that happen, though. Please don't put that pressure on me to make it fun anyway. I have no control over what my opponents do. I have no control over what they do. If you guys have any complaints about it, please keep them to yourselves today. I'm just going to get mad. I'm going to get really mad, and I'm going to tell you to shut up, okay? I don't play this game anymore because nobody ever actually wants to play a game longer than 2 minutes. That's the reason why I'm quitting Starcraft. We don't need to debate it anymore. I don't have anything to hide or lie about. Truthfully, it's the worst part of the game. There's no such thing as dignity or honor in this game at all. It makes it very boring, but I will try for you. I will try for you. All right, looks like he is just going to all-in us here again. All right, well, once he kills us, I'll GG out, and then we'll queue up again. I appreciate you guys. You guys know this is the biggest reason why I don't like playing Starcraft anymore. Here, let's just go next. It's a waste of time anyway, right? Let's go next. I just hope you guys are having a nice day. That's all. That's all I care about. I just want to say hi to some people while... If I play this game, I can make people show up and say hi and say happy birthday to me, and then I'm not alone. So it's worth whatever happens. Don't worry about the games, guys. I'm only doing it so you show up. I love you. Oh, my dentist wished me happy birthday. That's amazing. That's nice of them. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Nothing's really happened yet, but it's going to be a good day. I miss playing StarCraft. The more you guys talk about the results of the game or the win or the lose or anything about the game, probably the less excited I'm going to be. But I promise you, as long as you don't try and draw attention to the game, I won't. And we can just ignore it completely, okay? That's all I'm going to ask for. Don't tell me it's okay. Don't act like I'm upset and you need to make me feel better. If I'm playing StarCraft, you need to just not talk about it at all. That's probably the best thing that you can do. Unless you have something positive to say. But even if something bad happens, let's not talk about it. Let's not give it any attention. Okay? That's the favor I'm going to ask of you guys today. If some guy cheeses me and I call him a cheeser and I say, let's move on, we just move on. That's all I want. That's all I want. I would love to play a macro game of StarCraft today. But like, you know, the most people who still play this game are just bitter old people that don't really enjoy it, so they just cheese every game. There's not much I can do about that. It's my birthday. I can't make people want to play games with me, so there's nothing I can do about that. I'm here for StarCraft, not for whatever, you know, whatever trauma these other people want to inflict on me. We've been getting a lot of rain up here. Dude, it's like one of those foggy, rainy mornings today. It's like one of those super foggy, rainy mornings today. It's nice, though. It's very nice. Very chill. Very chill day. Yeah, you guys don't have to protect me from these people. You're good. Come Monday, we'll be playing Storm. Tomorrow, I'm just going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to play Stormgate all week. I'm not going to feel bad about losing games on my birthday. I'm not live to entertain you or do any of that shit. I am here to bait you into coming in here to say hi and hang out with me for a few minutes. That's all I ask. Oh, there it is. There's that Speedling opener. Okay. Well, it's another... All right, let's just go next, right? Let's just go next game. We're going to find somebody that doesn't want to cheese us. Eventually. Eventually, we'll get there. I'm just going to leave. As soon as I see they're all-inning, I'm just going to insta-leave and queue up again. Oh, Grandma Sharon said happy birthday. Aw, thank you. That's sweet of her. I appreciate that, Nathan, too. Appreciate that, sir. I hope you had a good weekend. I got a crown victory last night. That was probably the most exciting thing that happened yesterday. Katie and I had a Fortnite game where we made it into the top 5. There were 3 other people remaining. Katie and I got separated. She killed 2 people by herself. And then I got into a fist fight with some other guy. I killed him. I ran out of bullets at the very last second, pulled out my knife, stabbed him. And then he dropped his victory crown. I picked it up. The very last person tried to peek me. Katie shot them in the head. Boom. GG. It was awesome. That was probably the peak of yesterday. That was a good time. We tried to watch the Mean Girls 2, in which I discovered that it's literally just the same movie with worse actors. So yeah, that was pretty rough. I had a hard time. I had a really hard time watching that, actually. But yeah, we had a good day. We had a good day. I don't have a problem with watching bad movies, but like sometimes you're just impressed at how I was like, oof. I would not recommend that. Even if you like musicals, I wouldn't. I thought they were like trying to make a sequel because they couldn't afford the original actors, but then I was like, no, it's the same movie. It's the same exact movie. They should let you take off your gloves and give people the gentleman's slap, yeah. Yeah, trying to replace any of them, it would only people would have been willing to understand if they had just said, "Oh, we can't get the original people back for the sequel." But the fact that they remade the original, the fact that they remade it, yeah, no, it was awful. It was awful. If you're gonna watch it, don't pay for it, okay, guys? Seriously, it's one of those pieces of media that just exists to scam people who like the original. Legitimately, there's nothing of value there. They got Tina Fey and they got the principal to come back, and that's it. The rest of it's complete trash. I did not like it. Did not like it. Well, people can't come up with original ideas, right? If you ask the AI, the problem with the AI is that it can only give you things based on everything else. So it's not capable of coming up with anything that hasn't been trained off of its data set. So anything that it can possibly come up with can only be derivative of everything else that it's been trained off of. And since they're trying to use those things to write movies now, you're going to get a bunch of movies that are just derivative products. To be like, they just go to ChatGPT and they type in a question like, we can't get any of the original actors for Mean Girls. Should we make a second one or just remake it? And the AI is like, well, if you remake it, then people will just say it's for a new audience, and then you can use that angle. And then you don't even have to hire writers, and you're like, oh my God, look at us, we did it. We did it, guys. We managed to take jobs from hardworking people again. Feels amazing, man. I imagine that's how that movie got greenlit. It's hard. I have a hard time hypothesizing about other options. Oh. Dun, 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 ba, ba, da, 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 da. What you doing? Okay, he's got spore crawlers coming out. Fast lair. He's got the spore pre-placed in the back of the mineral line. Yeah, this summer should be good movie-wise, right? I don't know. I don't really know what's coming out. I know Deadpool and Wolverine. The Boys. There's a new season of The Boys coming out this summer. That should be nice. Edgar Wright was tweeting this morning about how it's been 17 years since they released Hot Fuzz. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my absolute favorites. Do, 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 boom, bitty, do, 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 do. Some of my hotkeys are a little different on NA versus EU too, is what I'm realizing here. As much as I always want to go battle cruisers, you guys know most people just cheat and just blind counter them, even though they don't scout me most of the time. People just pretend. They pretend like they just magically know. So unfortunately, I can't just do the normal thing that I would like to do. Most people don't want to actually have that much fun. So we gotta play around. We gotta play around their sensitivity. He's going mass muta though, right? Well, nice try. Yeah, if you guys see Icon's message, it's EYCHONS in chat. If you see that message, guys, please don't post messages like that. That's just weird. Thank you. Icon, I'm not mad at you. I'm using your message as an example to let people know what I want so that you guys don't accidentally get banned or screamed at or whatever it is you're scared of in this channel, okay? I love you guys. Sometimes the only good examples I can use for messages that I don't like is to just point at ones. I love you though, Icon. You're not a bad person. You ask a question that I think is very strange. Okay? I don't want you to worry about that. All right, guys? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. If you guys care about winning and losing, you're in the wrong stream. That's all. That's all I have to say. I love you, though. I love you. I'm here because it's my birthday. I'm not here for any other reason, all right? If anybody gives me money, I'll just quit the game, too. I don't care. Whatever you guys want. Doesn't matter. It means nothing to me. It means absolutely nothing. It's my birthday. That's the only thing I care about. If you got any other reason why you're here aside from my birthday, then that's great, but that's between you and Jesus. Look at that, though. He rushed for the double spire. He rushes for the double spire, too. He's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. My brother in Christ opened up. He rushed double spire against a cyclone opener. That's actually crazy, though. You don't see that very often. You do not see that very often at all. Interesting spire placement. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's Nathanias' birthday, the saltiest guy in Starcraft, right? You think nobody's gonna come? You think none of my fangirls are gonna show up? Really? You really think none of my fangirls are gonna show up for today? I'd be disappointed if they didn't. If I don't get sniped by Goma or Hubseya or who are my other fangirls? You guys know them better than I do. If I don't get sniped by anybody today, I will also be upset. Those guys are just as much my fans as you. They show up every time I play this game. They're here every day. The stream that you love was built off of their effort as much as mine and yours. I have no doubt. I have no doubt we'll play against people that are watching the stream today. That's fine. That's fine. If they want to provide content for us, they can do that. I have no problems with that. You guys know that. I always appreciate anybody that cares enough about this show to want to be on it. Anybody who cares about this show enough to want to be a part of it, they are more than welcome. They are always more than welcome to do so. I haven't played Starcraft in like 2 weeks on stream, so if you think about it, this guy doesn't really have many other chances. He doesn't have many other chances to get a free win against me, so he's got to take it. He's got to take those where he can. He's got to take his chances where he can. My only hope is that he gets excited enough to talk to me this game. That's what I want. I want him to say something. I want him to open his purty mouth. I'm gonna need to wait for another friggin' depot, another scan, huh? Yeah, there's not much I can do, right? He countered my strategy without scouting, and then he just kind of caught all my stuff, so let's go next. Thank you for the sub, Fear Dragon. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, sir. Good vibes today? Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think we're going to play Helldivers. I appreciate it, though. I could refund you, Jasmine. I'm sorry about that. I thought that we wanted to play, but it turns out not. I'm not interested in, like, pretending to be interested just because we're talking about it on stream. Thank you, Ravi. I hope you've been doing well, sir. It was one of those situations where I wasn't really, like, super crazy about it, but I thought Katie was. And then when I told her I was getting it, she was like, wait, I thought you just wanted it. And then I was like, oh, I didn't actually want to just get this to play by myself. And she was like, oh, I just wanted it because I thought you really wanted it. And I was like, well, could probably find another game for us to play that we're actually both kind of excited about. Bowling sounds like a blast. Hell yeah. Thanks, man. Have a great night. Appreciate you swinging by. Thank you, thank you. I feel like our luck in ARAMs, I feel like we've just had the worst. We've just been getting, like, the worst games lately. It's been nuts. Feels like this season has been a little more brutal with a lot of the games. We'll get them back. We'll get them back tonight, hopefully. Yeah, once they started getting rid of the fun stuff that they tried to add last year, or like in preseason, once they got rid of the fun stuff, oh, he's just cheesing. He's just wasting our time. Let's go next. Let's go next. Thanks, Babamp. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Hey, Alex. Thank you. Thank you, Ryu. Thank you, thank you. Hope you guys are having a nice day. I went and got my free birthday Starbucks this morning. That was very exciting. It was very exciting. I got a small mocha with non-fat milk. And one pump of dark caramel. It was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. Good little kick. Good little kick to get the day going. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Okay, it's just been like this super misty, super foggy, Silent Hill kind of ambiance outside, and Katie knows how much I like doing stuff in the morning, so she was like, look, I'm gonna get up early. Let's go for a little walk and get some coffee, get a little breakfast. So that's what we did today. We got up, we took Lewis outside together. We took Lewis to the dog run. There were some other people walking their dogs outside of it, so he got a really good workout. He was just running, chasing these other pooches. He's circling the whole entire thing, and it was just nice. It was just nice. And again, just foggy, light rain, kind of mood. But it was a super chill morning. I think I had like a sausage egg biscuit for breakfast. Delicious. Delicious. And Plaguebird redeeming a dab. Let me hit him with that. I got you, boo. I got you. That sucks, though, right? We had 3 games versus Zerg in a row, and they were all bad. It's unfortunate. I hope we get a little macro TVZ at some point today, though. But it's very hard to get macro games in Starcraft these days. It would be really nice if we could get into one crazy, like, drawn-out game today. That would be my dream. Get one of those nutso max out battlecruiser games going. Well, no scout, right? He hasn't scouted at all. No SCV on the map. No Reaper scout. Oh, there we go. He just attacked the starport itself. Okay, well. Now we'll scout for, like, proxy starport. Dun, 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 dun. Just keep it going, huh? Just keep it coming. Yeah, smoky chicken. I like smoked chicken, honestly. That's pretty good. Give me a little smoke pulled chicken. Hey, Barry Fun. Thanks, man. I call this the Stormgate strategy. Lots of drops. Lots of drops hitting him hard. He might be able to just counter push and kill us. So we'll just try not to die to that. But obviously, we know the Cyclone is a pretty weak unit head to head. So this is one of those situations where we're gonna need to maybe get a little bit of luck for the engagement that we want. But it's not impossible either. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, he's just ready for it, huh? Oh, he has the tower. Okay, okay. Yeah, he just F2'd like crazy on his main base. Yeah, he's just got a bunch of ravens. Just get the ravens, I guess, right? Perfect, perfect. Woo! I call it the Stormgate build because you start dropping and you don't stop. Otherwise known as the turtle build. The turtle build where you spend more of the time attacking your opponent than they attack you. That's what cheesers like to call it. Repair. Oh, it's because it's an NVIDIA hotkey. Alt R is an NVIDIA hotkey, huh? That makes sense. That's my FPS toggle. Kek W. Uno, dos, tres. Yeah, you're cooked. Well, drop play. Drop play is like the strongest thing in Stormgate by a huge amount. Nobody does it. Nobody does it, but it's by far the best thing in the game. GG. Not bad, huh? There you go. I had to be a little more aggressive. I had to be a little bit more aggressive to get what I wanted, but we got it. We got there. We got there. Thank you, Barry Fun, for the 18 months. I appreciate that, sir. Hotkey gremlin strikes in mysterious ways. There are so many hotkeys that I need to fix. A lot of what I've done has definitely been changed by Stormgate. So I'm gonna move some of these guys around. I'm gonna have to move some of these guys around. Yeah, attack can be the hotkey, right? Yeah, we know that. We know that. That's interesting. If I try to switch it to A to build an SCV, then it affects the attack hotkey. Is that just because of the planetary? That's probably just a planetary thing, huh? That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, I'll just have to get used to pressing A to build press S to build SCVs again. That's all. I don't think there was much else, right? Was there anything else big anything else big? No. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get used to that because of the command center or whatever, right? It's because of the planetary. It's because of the planetary, I think. Yesterday, I tried to play SC2 after Stormgate, and it feels so much harder. The pass of the game itself. Yeah. I think I don't use any of the quality of life stuff in Stormgate as far as production is concerned. The only thing that I'm reminded about Starcraft that I don't like is that this game has no defender's advantage, you know? That's really the biggest thing that Stormgate's taught me. This game would be a million times better if they just stole, like, Bob Overcharge and put it in this game. That would be, like, one of the smartest things they could do. I would kill for that. All the people who uninstall from the one-base garbage, you know, the stuff inside your main and whatnot, would be incredible if there were better mechanics to counter that kind of stuff. It's definitely easier playing Stormgate or Zero Space to get a longer game, and I think that's why I enjoy those games more. Like, I love StarCraft, but, like, in terms of number of games played versus games that reach a state that I want the game to be in, I'd say in StarCraft that only happens maybe 10 to 20% of the time. But in Stormgate or Zero Space, I was able to get to that game state maybe 50 or 60% of the time, which was still about 50-50. But in StarCraft, like, you know what I mean? If your opponent wants to all in you, then the whole game revolves around them, like, no matter what. You can't force somebody all inning to, like, transition into something else without winning the game, more or less. That's really the toughest. It's really the toughest part. Like, I still love playing StarCraft. It's just, you know, it's such a cutthroat game. There's no warm-up period really at all. Which is funny, because if you get Vanguard Mirror matchup, you start the game with a free Reaper, so this still feels more chaotic. Happy birthday, your stream was my go-to chill out the last couple weeks. Hell yeah, Savage Stan. Thank you, man. God bless you. I think this is the first Zerg player we've played against today that's not one-basing, so this is big, right? No pool first. I think we got pool firsted every game so far, so this is a nice switch up. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I like about Stormgate, you know? There's like a really vocal minority of StarCraft players that hate each other and themselves, and they want like everything in the game to be very punishing and painful because they feel bad, right? And when they make other people feel bad, for them it's kind of cathartic. I think that's where a lot of it comes from. You'll rarely see people getting into like really upset arguments about macro games, but you will see the number of people that you will see like immediately perk their heads up when someone says they don't like getting cheesed or all in, and that's because those people are obviously more toxic, and for them protecting their ability to cheat other people out of a full game experience, being able to do that is so important to their ego. Because if they had to play a game that went past 10 minutes against the average person they beat, they'd never win another game. So it's really important to counteract the narrative that those people try to spread in all the different games and spaces. Same thing with the Call of Duty guys that think MMR should be removed from the game because they want to be able to stream and just never lose. Stuff like that is like mind-boggling. But I think another part of that, too, is that, there's just not really any strategy left to figure out. Like, Starcraft is mostly a solved game. There's almost everybody universally agrees that new strategies aren't really possible in the current metagame. And most people also say that they don't even want to see new strategies, right? Like, they don't want to see people figure out a way to play mech because people just generally, the people that talk anyway, generally say that they hate it more than anything, right? So if you say that you want to help people do like a 1-Rex expand, they're going to say, well, that's not macro. They're going to say that's turtling, right? So it's a tough dynamic. It's a tough dynamic. Those people are also used to getting what they want because every time they screamed loud enough, Blizzard gave it to them. So it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, I feel like a lot of it just has to do with the funding, right? Like Starcraft 2 players had everything kind of handed to them, where nobody actually had to support financially anything except creators and streamers that they liked for many years. And then you can kind of see it in Stormgate, how people want to believe that Stormgate is a scam for no reason other than they're raising money, even though that's like the normal way that many games get made nowadays, But you can just kind of tell. You can just kind of tell. People have a hard time believing that they deserve to have to pay for things without already having received it. But that's the world we live in now. That's everything. That's everything. Good luck getting shit up front, bro. Damn. All right, let's move out with our next wave of cyclones when we can. Your birthday stream text is cut off on the left side. Do you want me to do something about it? Happy birthday, by the way. Thank you, Behemoth. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm just here to bait people to come in and say happy birthday to me and then leave. It's okay, guys. There's no other expectations. Zero other expectations. I'll keep saying it over and over again until it gets through. I love you, though. You got invaded by the engagement trap? That's right. You know how hard it is to get people to talk? I had to say I spit roasted a dude on stream the other day. I had to like go for the triple entendre just to get people to talk in chat. It's effort, man. It's a lot of effort. You either complain about something and then a bunch of people chime in to tell you that you don't deserve to ever be upset, or you have to intentionally say something wrong so they can feel like they're correcting you. But if I talk about anything I'm interested in, that's not very interesting, right? If I talk about the game, that's not very interesting, right? So it's a journey. It's a journey to get people to engage. You know how much shit I gotta misspell to get people to click on things? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm just playing some unranked Starcraft 1v1s for a few hours. That is all. That is all. That is all we are doing today. That is all we are doing today. All right, GG. Nice push, bro. Let's go next. Twitch got banned where you are. You're not gonna use a VPN to watch you now? Okay. I'm not sure what he's trying to say. Is he saying that he can or can't watch the stream anymore? I'm not really sure. He's in chat, so I'm gonna assume he can watch the stream. Now you can only watch via VPN? Ah, I see, I see. Well, we're also live on YouTube. I know I say it every day, and we only ever have 10 people watching there, but when Twitch bans you from watching and you can only watch via VPN, you should know there are other ways to watch the stream. I appreciate you, though. We're just doing the vertical stream on YouTube for a little bit, though. I'm waiting until I have the encoding capacity. I'm waiting until I have the encoding capacity to be able to run the extra stream anyway. Right now, I've got like 3 feeds going. Which VPN do you recommend? Oh yeah, I don't use VPNs. I don't know. I got nothing. This guy's a barcode Protoss, so I'm just going to assume that he's one basing or cheesing. So what I'm going to do is just play really greedy. That way, if he is cheesing, then we immediately just go next. And if he's not, then we're in a slightly stronger economic position in the event that this does turn into a regular macro game. That's the game plan. I know that Twitch had some stuff with Turkey because a lot of people were VPNing to Turkey to get cheaper subs to people. Because Twitch doesn't have a unified cost platform for subscribing, they basically leverage it on currencies. But obviously, when you have features like ad-free viewing available for subs, using a VPN to go to a country with a lower value currency not only allows you to scam your favorite streamer out of the income that you would normally give them by subscribing, since they'll get 20 cents instead of $2, but then you don't have to get ads anymore. So yeah. So you can thank all the people. You can thank all the people that wanted to scam their favorite streamers for why Twitch is banned in Turkey. It's good shit. Then these guys all say, I don't want to give Bezos my money, even though he doesn't work at the company or really have much involvement. It's tough out there. I know they had a lot of money laundering stuff. Those guys DM everybody. That's like the biggest scam I think people get busted for. Ah, gambling? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised Twitch hasn't gotten hit with any legislative stuff in the U.S. You'd think with how backwards everything is, it'd be a bigger deal. But I guess the people with the money. I guess the people with the money are probably more worried about. Well, he just gave up. I guess the people with the money are happy that more people are gambling. So, since that sports betting stuff is like completely eating the U.S. alive. Yeah, they probably won't. They probably won't do anything about it now that gambling's legal everywhere. I think the Super Bowl is typically the most bet on event of the year. Usually, right? Probably World Cup. Yeah, but that doesn't happen every year, right? So that's like saying the Olympics or something, right? It's like, well, obviously you have a lower volume, which leads to higher, volatility, which in the right circumstances, increased volatility will certainly encourage increased liquidity, and then you've got an opportunity. Then you've got a big opportunity. But that's some of the hype, right? Things get affected by weird stuff, though. There's always some weird drama about the World Cup because they keep running it in countries where there's like slaves and shit or something like that, right? Everybody just pretends to not care about that for like the 10 minutes that event is happening every couple years, I think. So that's probably the only reason why it doesn't get as much hype. Nice. Look at that, boys. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. I would be willing to believe that the World Cup probably gets some similar level of investment. But the Super Bowl is also the most watched event ever every time that they do it as well. So it's kind of one of those things where the spectacle around it and the amount of money that gets burned on it is always something that encourages people to go extra crazy. Did you guys hear that there was the person who streaked on the field apparently made a prop bet? The guy bet his life savings that someone would streak on the field during the Super Bowl, and then he did it so that he would win or something like that. I think I read about that. The streaker guy got arrested and said he did it because he made $500,000 or whatever. Apparently, he bet 37 grand there would be a streaker, and he just put his whole life savings on it, and then he traded getting banned from every NFL game for the rest of his life. He'll never be allowed at another event that they can recognize him at, of course, but made $500,000 too. All he had to do was make a doofus of himself and run on an NFL field with a thong on and get tackled during the Super Bowl. I mean, if they don't put him in prison, I don't really see how you lose doing that. They're like, Nathan, go run down the field in a thong, and then your family doesn't have to worry about money for 10 years. I'm like, fuck, man. Sign me up. Blue, pink, or orange. Those are the colors I would go with. Sorry, guys. You don't get to pick the other ones. Yeah. Well, that's the most American thing there is. That's up there with like intentionally stepping in front of the bus on college campus to get your tuition paid for, People do all sorts of crazy shit out here. They say life is a highway, except it's one of those ones with no guardrails and you're 1,000 feet up at all times. That's what it's like. Yeah, for $500,000, I'm down. Now they're going to start doing verification on like the police report. DraftKings is going to be like, okay, if the person who placed the bet is the person that streaked, then we void the bet for everybody. That's probably like the 3rd degree down they go since they're completely unregulated. If we can determine that the person made any claims or statements about why they did this, then we do not have to pay out. I'm sure this will be the only time that ever happens. And then some guy will run next year, go to prison, and then won't win anything. Feels bad, man. At that point, you might as well just start a pool, right? You just start a private pool. You get like 100 people together, and you just all pitch in and be like, okay, guys, we're all gonna hit this bet. We just need one person to be the patsy. We'll all use the winnings to post bail for them if they actually go to jail. Everything's gonna be fine. We'll craft a bulletproof alibi in advance. I'm just saying, that's. Either that or they don't let people run prop bets on whether there will be a streaker. But I'm guessing that's probably not a normal line to bet on either. So he was probably, it could be on some like offshore Argentinian crypto gambling exchange. In which case they may have probably just not paid him out anyway. So who knows? Who knows? It's always been my dream to get run over by a trust fund baby, you know? Ah. Trust fund baby, somebody with enough money to pay for the lawsuit after they run you over. That's about it. If you have enough money for that without having to sell everything you own, then yeah, you're pretty rich, right? So sorry, it's like a super American joke. You probably too first world country to understand. Oh? Oh, I failed miserably at explaining this concept. I don't think Audio Maxi gets it at all. If anybody in chat knows what I'm trying to say about how, you know, rich person hits you with card, then you don't have to work anymore. If anybody understands what, anyone knows how to explain that to him, feel free to give it another shot. But that's what I was, it was a joke I was going for. I guess you could say it's serious. If it happens, probably, right? Boom, 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 boom.
Ready. Light, light, attention. Taking effort, dropping off. Show me who you want.
Oh, he's stimming. He's stimming for me. Oh, I got the cyclone bug, rip. Oh, you've never been to the U.S.? Oh, it's all good. It's all good. We have a lot of nice, pretty stuff here. They just don't have any. There's just not really many social safety nets for people. So there's a lot of jokes about getting wronged by somebody who's wealthy enough to pay out a lawsuit. That's all. Pretty standard humor for us plebes. Look at us go! Booyah! That was awesome. Just hit him with the big aggro. Hit him with the big aggro. You're interested to go, but you're scared of the election in the Southern Bible Belt? Well, I mean, you can always... There's plenty of places you can go where there's, like, not as much of that stuff. Like, obviously, you guys probably heard about Alabama in the news. Like, there's people that want to turn the clock back to 1800 or whatever, but that's not most places. The Pacific Northwest is pretty nice. Like, I live in a red county, and it's still, like, pretty balanced over here. It's not... Nothing like super crazy happens. Some of those people are here, but like there's not much that goes down here, I'd say. Washington's nice, Oregon's nice, California's pretty nice. I think the Northeast in general is great. If you ever get a chance to visit, go to like New York. New York is beautiful. They've got a lot of great nature, waterfalls, some of the biggest cities. People think about New York City, but you don't even have to go further. You can drive an hour outside of New York City, and there's waterfalls and beautiful parks, rivers, lakes, streams, all of it. There's so much great stuff. But yeah, no, I personally have very little interest in going towards the south or southeast myself for those reasons. Those are the people that have like their own electric grid that they charge crazy amounts for and they call it freedom or whatever. I'm not big on that stuff. Not big on that stuff myself. But there's a lot of beautiful places to see. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, California is pretty great. I think the people that have never been there have like weird views of it, but it's actually just a very normal place. It's very nice. I never had that much of a bad experience. I think when people talk about big cities, I find that it's usually some form of projection, as there's massive economic disparity in almost every urban district on the planet. So it's not really unique to any one place. Where there are people, there will be things. And if there are more people, there are more things. And if there are more things, there's more of a variety of things. And if there's more of a variety of things, then that means that the boundaries, upwards and downwards, go a little bit further out. And when the boundaries, upwards and downwards, go further out, then occasionally you get to see what the extremes can look like. And when you can see what the extremes look like, you might find yourself a little spooked. But that doesn't mean that those are like normal things, right? Yeah. But I probably wouldn't, yeah. I wouldn't schedule my vacation or my trip in like Texas or Florida or Alabama or those places. Stay north. Stay in the north half of the country. It's a pretty safe bet. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the news, though. The news exaggerates things a lot more. According to the news, Portland as a city does not exist anymore. The people who unironically watch Fox News legitimately believe that Portland is no longer on the map. They think it's gone. It's crazy. You'll hear people talk about how these cities got burned down in riots or whatever, and it's like one guy that nobody knows threw a Molotov into a Target, and they're like, the whole city's gone, boys. And they're like, did they even know if it was one of the protesters that did it? No. No, they don't. Did they arrest the person and get testimony? No, they didn't. The news just decided to be like, guys, Portland is gone. I'm like, yeah. But there's people that unironically believe that in this country. Those are the people I'm afraid of. Because they have all the same rights as me. And that is why Nathan votes. Gotta at least try. You were in Portland yesterday? Can confirm, not on fire? Wow, look at this guy. We got a paid deep state actor in the chat. He's here just to pretend Portland is still real. Ha! Ha! I heard the whole entire city got replaced with one giant spirit Halloween. And they burned that down too. I love you guys. You guys are a good chat today. This is an entertaining conversation. I appreciate your presence. It's been a little bit since we've had a cheeky Starcraft stream, so yeah. No, they live in a completely parallel world, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with those people here. They're all very pro-Russia. Most of the media and politicians over here for that stuff are all funded. They're all funded by Russian people. I think they just revealed they had this like big court case. They tried to suggest or some like insane shit with like the president's kid. And then eventually, I think it came out this week that the guy who ended up breaking the story had been being paid by like an anonymous Russian account for like years and years now, you know? It's all the same shit. Yeah. It's crazy. I gotta like be super awkward whenever I talk to people. I'm like, yeah, you know I'm Ukrainian, right, guys? You know my dad was born there, right? You know I'm not. You know, like my family origins are not in the United States, right? Please, please don't tell me your super unhinged beliefs about money that's being wasted. Because you saw a Twitter account that you'd never heard of before with a gold check mark or a blue check mark say something insane. Yeah, world's a wild place. World's a wild place. Yo, Ba, what's up? Hey, cutie patootie. Good to see you. Bahamut. You know, Bahamut, Bahamut's just always super chill. He comes in here, he's super nice. Have I ever done a single thing for this man? No. I don't know why he loves me. I don't know why he's so nice to me, but he just is. He just is. And that is the most kind thing that a person can do for another person. I don't have anything to offer you in return but my love, sir, and you let it rain on me anyway, and I appreciate you greatly for always being such a positive, cool guy. As much as I talk about how I want to be better and do all this and that, you know, I'm still just a man. Just a man. I'm far from perfect. I don't think I'll ever make everybody happy, whether it's possible or not. But thank you for being so cool. This is the part where we try to make our hop, skip, and a jump into BCs. Oh, he's stimming to run away? Well, he's got to just be, like, going around the outside here, probably. Be my guess. Yeah. I mean, his Marines are all pretty low on health. So, I guess... yeah, we can just kill them all pretty easily. There you go. Thanks, man. But yeah. Thanks, Bahamut. Thanks for always being so nice. I appreciate you. Happy birthday, Trayson. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. I just wanted to come on, play a little Starcraft like old times, you know. Just hang out, have a little riff sesh with y'all. Nate streaming SC2 on a Sunday? I know. You're spoiled down here in the valley. You got French bakery, Mexican bakery, Mediterranean, all within a few blocks. Yeah, that's actually pretty sick. No, I love the Pacific Northwest. It's true that it's crazy expensive, but this is literally, I live in the best air quality I have ever lived in. I've literally never lived somewhere with cleaner air and water. I've literally never lived somewhere nicer. And I lived in a very similar type of place in Pennsylvania, but they don't have regulations for anything. There is no standard for quality or for anything there. So stuff was never really that clean or nice. The roads were never taken care of, shit like that. But it's nuts, man. Every time even the tiniest little thing breaks, they're like, boom, we got roundabouts, we got everything. Washington Department of Transportation actually has real employees that work there, which is like kind of nuts to think about. Pennsylvania Department of Transportation exists for no reason other than, I guess, to probably grift into the pockets of whoever the governor's friends are. That would be my guess, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Katie's always like, we can move back to Pennsylvania someday because it's cheaper. And I'm like, I don't know if I want my kids to grow up anywhere else. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, a lot of it's like Texas, right? I'm pretty sure one of the people in Texas got arrested for omitting ballots and stuff, right? I think the governor said that if they had counted all of the votes that were submitted in the state, like Biden would have won or some shit. A lot of it has to do with that. These places are just largely taken over by corrupt people that just want to fill their own pockets. That's about it. The same reason why they ban IVF. They think that banning IVF is like a completely normal, completely fine thing to do. But passing a single law to make kids in this country safer is like, you know, there's nothing that terrifies a Republican more than a safe child. That's their worst nightmare. How else will they clutch their pearls if they actually solve anything? You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. And then here I am, the crazy, radicalized young man who just wants to know that my kids will have food if something happens to me. That's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. By many standards, I would be considered an absolute crazy person in this country for having that perspective. There's a lot of people in this country who would very strongly disagree with me about that. That's tough. It's my birthday. I can shit talk Republicans if I want. Vote for people that aren't crazy if you want me to change my mind about you. There you go. How about you don't vote for Trump this year, and then I'll think you're a better person. Good luck. Good luck finding somebody else. I just want everybody's kids to be able to eat and be safe. That's really about it. It's really about it. That's considered an extremist radical view in 2024, though. This our time with us. I get the feeling it'll never stop. Never stop. But you know, like I grew up in a single parent household. I know that crazy things that you don't plan for can happen. And as a kid, I had to suffer because of that. And it was no fault of my own, you know? I'd like to see that change in my lifetime. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, you can have that one. That's all yours, pal. Now we get building armor, so the planetaries become unkillable. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Thank you, Ice Wolfie, for the 69 months sub. Appreciate it. Hopefully that shit is all over at the end of the year, right? That'd be amazing. Yeah, they did, Yanina, they did. I think the Supreme Court ruling mentioned the Bible 41 times. Isn't that crazy? You can just force other people to live by your religion. It's insane. Legitimately the most unhinged shit ever. It's crazy. Most of the courts and religions in this country and in the world view women as property, so they're just trying to get rid of their rights for some reason, I guess. It's fucked up. Yo, JW. You're good. It happens. My NVIDIA overlay hotkey is the same as my auto repair hotkey, so I can't use the auto repair hotkey. Okay, that's the one I'll have to fix. Yeah, you won't believe this, but one of the Republican senators who supported banning IVF has a son that was born through IVF. It's none of it's real. It's all just the most insane shit made up to take away freedom from people. That's it. That's it. Different laws for the ruling class compared to the rest of us. Crazy. Crazy. They try to put a book between themselves and everything they do that's evil and then say that it's okay. But it ain't. It's a lot of Thors. Oh, we vibing now. We vibing now. We getting it. Let's go, baby. I know some of you guys are like, why would Nate want to talk about this on his birthday? But the reality is your freedoms and rights are things I care about very much. You'll notice I only want you to have more of them. Sometimes I like telling you guys that you don't deserve nothing just for being alive. Hope you know that. You all deserve happiness. You all deserve happiness. You all deserve to be loved. You don't need any justification or reason for it. Zero. I hope you know that. Just fix my battle cruisers up, okay? I've got a lot. They're beat up. They're banged up. They need a little love, a little tender love and care. Let's get there. Let's get there. Always like to say, if you zoom out enough on any time scale, any time frame, if you zoom out enough, progress always wins. Progress always wins, baby. That's why you don't give up. Well, we're going to move out 2 pods. He's trying to hang in there. He's trying.
You've depleted that mineral field. You mined out a mineral field. Good, you've exhausted that Vespine geyser. Upgrade ready. You've mined out some of your minerals.
Okay, I think this is where we just get rid of workers now. Right? We just start sacking our SCVs. Yeah, I think we're not entirely maxed. I'm maxed out, but I only have 16. I only have 16, which because I have a lot of SCVs and still some Widow Mines. So I think the appropriate thing to do is try and make some orbitals so that we have income after the workers are gone. I don't normally do this. Usually I just throw them away, but I think I'll put in that extra little bit of effort for you guys because you deserve it. You guys listen to me preach a little bit today. I'll put that extra effort in for you. Even if I'm just preaching that you guys deserve to be happy. Don't let these crazy people tell you that you haven't earned the right to a good life. Don't let those people convince you that they know anything about living. Bunch of psychopaths.
We've depleted that mineral field.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot, but this is he doesn't really have options, so we're just gonna keep splitting. His Vikings are only a 1-0. His Vikings are only 1-0. Yeah, okay, so we get this wave of income. That's what we do. We get this wave of income going, and then I think we can just win the game. We'll teleport everything into his main base and just build BCs behind it. He can't do anything anymore. This is done. He has no upgrades for his air units. I did not realize that, but he's cooked. He's cooked. Let's go, baby. Got him. Woo! Beautiful, beautiful, tasteless. This was a nice gift for him. This was a nice gift from him to me. He gave me a delicious scrum-diddly-umptious macro game for my birthday. I wanted every BC to fire on that man. Hell yeah. At the risk of being annoying, once again asking your level of interest in Helldivers 2. You know, somebody offered to get it for me, but I gotta be real with you. I don't really have too much time I spend playing games in my free time, so usually I'm playing that stuff with Katie. And if she's not interested, then I'm not really interested, because if I'm gonna play a game by myself, I'm playing Persona or Resident Evil right now. I've got 2 Persona games I'm working through, so I'm good. I appreciate it though. I spend my soul when I'm gaming by myself. I usually just play single player games, so I appreciate it though. Thank you. He didn't have anything else, right? Nope. Yeah, once I realized that he didn't have air upgrades, that was when I was like, okay, I should be able to just... Because if his army was fully maxed, which it could have been, if his army was fully maxed out, then I think that there's like a much larger risk that he could push and kill me if I attacked him like that. But I felt very confident. I felt very confident in that situation because of that. I'll just gift you some B-Day subs instead. God bless you, JW. Thank you. Thank you. Should you start with 4 or 5? They remade Persona 3. So all you need to know is that Persona 1 and 2 have nothing to do with the rest of the other games, and you can skip them. Persona 3, very dark game about death and sin. It's a very introspective sort of game that kind of tackles the underlying motivations of day-to-day life and decision-making. Persona 4 is a party game that has more of a upbeat detective kind of theme. There's a little bit less death, a little bit less darkness in the game. Persona 4 is more about kind of accepting who you are in a way and being comfortable with yourself and living your life for yourself and not other people. That's how I would describe Persona 4, which makes it probably one of the better starting points. However, it is now the only game that hasn't been remade, so it will be the worst quality of life version, technically. Persona 5 is about rebellion against corrupt authority and follows a lot of motifs around characters that are abused by people that have a responsibility to them that they fail them on. So those are like the three motifs, the way that I see them. So if one of those is something that you connect with a little bit more, then you might find that that would probably be a better experience for you. But otherwise, they're all great games. They're all fantastic games. You spend the majority of the game talking with the other characters and stuff about their problems, your problems, all that sort of thing, and a lot of the time being able to like, I guess that's kind of the point though, is like you develop those relationships with people and help them work through their stuff, and then when you go into the combat part of the game, they get very specific, very overpowered abilities based on who you spend time with and whether or not you guys actually make any progress on stuff. So the other way to describe the games is therapy simulator, but you're the therapist. In all of the games, you're meant to project yourself completely onto the main character, though. So that's why it's so much about the other characters. They don't really give you any backstory at all beyond either your parents died or you got in trouble for something you didn't do. Blah blah blah. They make it's like a standard Japanese protagonist. Like in Japanese culture, the parents are always right, so every game starts with you having a very acceptable reason to be away from your parents. So, because in Japanese culture, they just assume that you would have no freedom if you lived with your parents because you must do everything that they say. So, all the games are premised on you're going to live somewhere else by yourself now with someone who doesn't really want to be responsible for you, and because of that, you have complete freedom, and the game starts there. Yeah, 3 is a sad game, 4 is a party game, 5 is a little bit of both. But Persona 3 is very dark. It's a very, very dark game. It's kind of like how in My Hero Academia, you know, you start, at least for me, you start watching it and you realize you never see the dad, but they mention him a couple of times. They're like, well, he has other authority figures in his life, so his dad can't be around, kind of a thing. It's like 60-hour minimum. Whew. If you don't skip through cutscenes you're watching or are a part of, like if you play the game through to completion, yeah, you can easily go over 100. The first time I beat Persona 5, which was not the Royale, I didn't beat that one yet. I'm still working on that now. But the original game, I think, took me 120 hours to beat. I think it took me 120 hours to beat the first time. To do just about everything, and I still missed a lot. I missed a bunch of like the final social link stuff with like Iway and a few other characters. So I didn't even get everything maxed out as much as I could, and I still ended up 120. You remember that stream? Yeah, we streamed Persona 5 when it came out. I played through that whole game on stream. That was fantastic. It was like back in 2015, right? That was great. That was great times. I remember. I think I had just gone through a breakup, and I was like, all right, guys, these are about to be my friends for this summer. I think that was like summer 2015, right? Good times. Summer 2016, maybe. Just played Persona all summer long. Yeah, that was great. Somebody spoiled to me that a character dies, and then when the character died, I got super depressed because I saw it coming, and then I found out they didn't die, and I was like, why did this guy trick me into thinking this character died? What an a-hole. It was great. It was good times. I got you baited. No, the games are so good. The writing is really good. All of the characters have some like pretty good motivations. They take years. They take so many years to make those games. They're really, really good. I think they said just recording all of the dialogue for everything in Persona 5 was one of the biggest things that they had because there's so much of it. Said it took them 7 years to make the game. Originally, it was going to be a PS3 game, and then the only reason it ended up being a PS4 game is because it just took that long. It just literally took that long. They were like, oh yeah, this could be a launch title for the PS4 in Japan now, or some shit. That's literally what happened. Crazy. Yeah, it came out on PS3. Exactly. That's what I was saying. It was developed for the PlayStation 3. That's how long ago they started making it. It got ported to the PS4 during its development process. If you look, when the game came out originally, it launched on the PS4 and the PS3. It's one of the final PS3 games ever made because of how long it took them to make it. The PS3 uses a different architecture for coding than any other console that's ever been made, which is one of the reasons why a lot of PS3 games have not, and until AI can trivialize it, will not ever be ported to modern consoles. Currently, the largest project that seems to be being undertaken on this scale is the port of Metal Gear Solid 4 for the remaster collection, but even that is taking like forever because of, you know, the difficulties. GG. Let's go next. But yeah. Grand Theft Auto... I mean, well, GTA came out. GTA 5 came out in 2010. Grand Theft Auto came out in 2010. So that's... Yeah, or 2011. So I don't think of that as the same thing. GTA 5 got ported, but like that doesn't really have anything to do with like... You know, I'm telling you that this was a game that came out for the PS3 like years after the PS3 was a dead console. That's what I'm saying, just to be clear. Yeah, it came out to the Xbox. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 is not like that at all. I don't think that's comparable in any way. That sounds overwhelming. You want to get into it, but you work 55 hours a week? Yeah, exactly. In Persona, like the first 15, 20 hours are all, they're all tutorial anyway. The tutorial isn't over until at least the 10-hour mark, but you get tutorials as late as like 40 hours. You'll be 40 hours deep into the game and they'll introduce a new mechanic with a whole tutorial and everything. There are endgame mechanics that don't get introduced until like 80 hours, and then you have tutorials. You'll be going through tutorials in the final area of the game. It just never ends. Because you'll be at the end of the game, and then that one character that you've been talking to that like never really wants to talk will just all of a sudden something will have happened in a late game cutscene, and then you're going to go from not even having a relationship with them to being like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a very short span. And then all of a sudden it'll be like, well, it turns out this character has had an ability the whole entire time that would have made your life a lot easier. And it gets procced every single fight. So all of a sudden, like the entire flow of the game changes completely. They have a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, it's super, super strategy focused. It's one of the reasons why I love Persona. Yeah, please don't be rude or weird to him for saying he works a lot. A lot of people do not actually have the freedom to just magically get a better job where they're happy. I love you though. Please don't bully guy in chat for not having that much time. I know I know on my birthday that's like the #1 thing you want to talk about is how exploited guy in chat is, but I feel you could just give him a little bit of commiseration instead of antagonizing him. That'll probably make him feel better. I know I talk about too serious things and the guy with the mute icon takes over chat. I'm sorry, guys. I love you. I found you to be the knower of all things SC2. What's the lore reason for no Dark Archons in SC2? I think they wanted less people to play the game. I think that's it. I think that's it, actually. I think they probably had an internal meeting where they're like, if we put the Dark Archon in SC2, more people will play the game. And then Dustin Browder said, well, how do we pretend that we're better than other people for the game that we play if they want to play this game? So they all said, ah, right, we want as few people playing the game as possible. And that's why they didn't put the Dark Archon in. I imagine that's how the conversation went down. But I agree with you. It's a tragedy that we don't have Dark Archons in StarCraft 2. It's a tragedy. I'm gonna guess it's the same reasoning that they used when they said that there was no point in making patches just for team games because, quote unquote, they can't be balanced. You know, gonna probably put it right there next to Dustin Browder's infamous quote that killed this game 10 years ago. Well, killed the casual game anyway. That was good. Huge damage. Huge damage. Oh, he might kill us, though. We don't really have a lot of units anymore, so this puts us at a pretty high level of risk right now. Very high level of risk. Very high level of risk here. Every balance thing people would blame at David Kim. David Kim's job was to be the guy that got insulted for balance, though. That, like, his whole entire job was literally just so that nobody would dox the other employees of the company. People don't believe that, but then they're like, when you see people say crazy stuff, you're like, oh yeah, there's crazy people everywhere. But then you're like, oh, they did this because of crazy people. And then you're like, well, why would they? That's not that big of a deal, right? But it always is that big of a deal. It always is that big of a deal. The number one comment that I have heard in my career from the balance people over the years was always the same thing, which is the people in charge never want to actually do anything because they're terrified of the community. That has been the number one most often heard response every time. They're like, yeah, the people that are, there's some people on the classic games team that can make changes, but they don't, they're all just terrified that a Reddit thread will pop up about them and they'll get fired for balancing the game wrong. And I'm like, yeah, this is what happens. This is what happens when you decide that listening to people on Reddit is more important than working on your game. It's a vicious cycle. like 1/1000th of the player base, maybe 1/100,000th of the player base posts unhinged stuff on social media, and then the developers act like those people speak for the entire community. That's how you get to where we are. And then nobody wants to interact with you anymore because they just assume they'll have their face bitten off. Then the Reddit guys are like, well, I deserve freedom of speech to tell people that they should take their own lives and blah, 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 blah. Then it never ends. Woo, baby. Look at that. Look at that. It's one of the biggest problems in game development that nobody really talks about, but there are so many employees of game developers that read social media and then become like bitter towards their own fan base. They'll become bitter towards the entire fan base of their own game for no reason other than a few anonymous comments made by someone that doesn't even care. Like, it's nuts. And then the impact that has on the game and the game's development forever, like, never goes away because those people get satisfied, they get satiated. But what they really learn is that they get away with it, right? And they're like, oh yeah, all we have to do is scream loud enough, and eventually they break and we win, and that's it. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, but it's very real. Game developers end up getting bitter against their audience, then the fans don't get what they want, and they never really did anything wrong. It was literally just some shitheads in an online chat room that probably have like 5 different accounts for each of them. And because of those people, they managed to single-handedly spoil all potential discussion. Starcraft has a similar, that's been one of the biggest things plaguing this community for many years. Almost any time anybody ever tries to have a conversation about any problems, they just get shouted down. It's been a very, very, very common thread, very common discussion thread for the majority of the game's existence. Ice Wolfie, ay, thank you, sir. What the hell, man? This man. Why are you being so nice to me, Ice Wolfie? Is it my shirt? Is it because I'm wearing a dark long sleeve shirt? A lot of people have been thirsting after me in chat the last 2 weeks every time I wear this. It's okay to admit it. It's okay to admit it. This guy has been attacking me non-stop from the moment this game began. He's cute. He's very cute. I'm gonna guess this guy's probably got what? Maybe size 42, 42, 42, 32. He's got a big old bubble butt probably. Oh yeah. There's no way this man does not have a dump truck of an ass. Absolutely. When this man moves, the claps of his cheeks set off seismographs 3 zip codes over. No doubt. No doubt. Now let's go, man. You got to keep warping stuff into my base, right? Otherwise the game will end. It's very important. Keep warping in those zealots, bro. He's got it. Good job. His plan, what are you going to do? I'm going to break it open. You're going to break it open and then run around to the other base again, yeah? Oh, this guy is a psychopath. Like I said, just straight up dump truck. Straight up dump truck today, man. Mr. Jemai, the only thing I'm mad at you for is apologizing to me that you can't spend more time here, okay? Your kid's a million times more important than I am. I never stream on Sundays. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by at all. Thank you for taking your time out to spend a little bit with me. That's the only thing I have to say to you. I am always happy to see you here, regardless of length or reason, okay? God bless you, dude. Have a great day with your kid. I love you, man. I'm not even going to be on that much longer. You got nothing to worry about. Yeah, recall for me, baby. Thank you. Boom, boom, boom. You can feel the Mecca calling out your name. It's a ninja in the corner. It's one base, but kind of the same. At least this guy's giving me a decent game. It's nice when you get matched versus people that can't just instantly kill you, you know? Yeah, what is he gonna do? And galaxies far from grace. Whatever we have to say. We're there when we call, I'll be there when we want. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Ba-da-dee-doo, da-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, bow, bow, bow.
Yes, Commander.
He's trying though. He's giving it the old college try. He's putting his best foot forward. Give me all your probes. Yeah, what do you do now? Boom, ba-dum. Only make memories that glisten all alone. Just got to fix all the BCs up, get maybe 1 or 2 more upgrade levels on them, and then I think we're cooking with gas again. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. And I know you won't remember memories ever. It's a lot of stalkers. Oh yeah, he's cooked though. He's cooked. He's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing that can stop this anymore, so I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. What's he gonna do? Blink onto this? Kill 2 more SCVs for another stalker and a half? Nah, he ain't doing any of that. He's toast, man. He's toast. He spent this whole game trying to make the game be over as fast as he could, and he failed at the one mission he had. The one mission he had this game was to end it as quickly as possible, and he could not do that. So I think we're in a great spot. Look at that. You just traded like 4 more stalkers for nothing again. Beautiful. Beautiful. No, his head should explode when I take my normal third base that he denied a bajillion times. Me taking this base will be what ends the game. And I know you won't remember memories ever lighting up New Sidonia. GG. Yeah, he tried to wrap his way around the map there. You were confused why the color changed on Twitch, but not YouTube for a second there. Free sub, Pog. Well met. Thank you, Ice Wolfie, for the 250. You're crazy, man. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Did the color... Oh, yeah, the color on YouTube. Well, the thing is, I use different scenes. So if you guys want to know a little bit of how I do the magic, where I make certain things change and certain other things not change, mostly it just has to boil down to different ways that I orient the sources. So in OBS, if I put a source on the game feed, in OBS, then anywhere that I put that game feed, it's going to have the filters on it. So if I put a filter on a source, that source will have the filter no matter where it appears. So what I do to get around this is I package my sources into groups and scenes. So you guys know like Matryoshka dolls or nesting, or you probably heard of like sandbox development, something like that. Basically, the way that I have it set up is that there's a scene that has nothing but the game. So there's one scene that only has the game feed from the stream and nothing else at all times. So that one never has any filters put on it. Do you guys follow me? However, it's in its own scene, and that scene that it's in can be added as a source to any other scene, right? So then what I do is I add it as a source to a different scene, and then I put a filter on the scene itself that can be toggled. And then anywhere that I'm doing fun stuff, like streaming, right? Live streaming, this scene is a big one. So anytime that I'm doing something where I have like this scene up, then I have it so that this one is using the one where the filters will be visible. So the filters get applied to the packaged game scene rather than the actual game scene itself. This way, the YouTube stream right now, the YouTube vertical stream, is getting fed a 9:16 resolution, but that actually is not using the bundled game source. I don't use that on the YouTube scene because we don't have you can't activate any of the effects over there. So there's very little reason why on the YouTube Shorts feed I would want that to be there, because it would just be distracting more than anything else, since, you know, there's no redeems. So that's why if you're looking at the YouTube short stream feed, none of the colors will change, the units will all stay the same, etc. But the VFX and everything, I only want them to be on the Twitch because you can't activate them any other way. And I don't want them in my shorts. That's about it. I want to look at his build order, though. He was crazy aggro. How to set that stuff up. Your expertise is top tier. Yeah. You know how sick it would be if I could get a consulting gig doing OBS setup and install for people and companies and shit. That's like my dream. I think that's my new dream now. I realize that's actually what I'm talented at, really, more than any of this streaming stuff. I'm just good at setting up streaming software. But yeah, we're live. We're live on Twitch right now. We're also live on YouTube Shorts. And technically, I've just got the whole thing going in vertical over there too. But this build, he was very aggressive from the earliest moments of the game. Thank you, Strager. Thank you, Strager and Vets. God bless you, man. Big ups. Thank you. But you know, JW, you can always send me a screenshot and be like, can you explain this, and draw a red circle around the setting on OBS? And then I can probably give you at least some pointers. I love talking about that nerd stuff. I was over in the OBS Discord this morning, just reading some people talk to each other about encoder settings. Do you use OBS or Streamlabs OBS? Streamlabs OBS is a fork of OBS, which means all of its updates are separate and completely different. So I don't use Streamlabs OBS because their software is not open source. They repackage an open source product and put stuff on top of it, but I like OBS Studio because it's the source. Streamlabs OBS has some features that are supposed to make it easier for people that aren't technically inclined to do live streaming, but the reality is it's a derivative product, you know? Do you want to buy the stock or do you want to buy the ETF kind of a thing? Except Unlike an ETF, it's just, well, you know, it's like a single stock. Would you rather buy a single stock ETF or the underlying, right? Assuming that you believe in it long term. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. So for some people, Streamlabs OBS is great. But if you're like a hardcore power user like me, I use OBS Studio largely because, so he did this on 2 bases, by the way. That's kind of what I wanted to know. He took his third while that last push was happening. And then he just never lets up the aggression. He just never lets up. No batteries in his main. No batteries in his main. He had just the one from the very beginning of the game, and he just got out on the field and just constantly pushed. I wanted to know when he took his third. Widget integration just seemed much easier. Oh, everything's easier. Everything as far as their stuff is easier. I just think that for like a high technical setup, regular OBS is better. And if you want to know why, I'm going to tell you something. There is a beta build of OBS Studio right now. It's called OBS 30.1. It's on its 3rd beta right now. I have been using and testing this beta for about a week. It's different than the Twitch beta. There's 2 OBS betas. There's one with Twitch for new RTMP features, and there's one for OBS internally, which is for graphic scaling on all sources and encoders. So that's a really, really, really big one. But basically, all you need to know is that everything on my stream is laid out in 4K, and the stream that you're watching is actually downscaled to 1080p from 4K. So you're not actually watching a 1080p video feed right now, even though that may be what you're receiving. That being said, you can't perform this operation using your graphics card on any version of OBS that isn't this beta. That's why people like me like to use these things, because A, they have new features that you can't use on things like Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs OBS won't have this feature until well after OBS releases it themselves, because Streamlabs OBS can only update after OBS updates, because Streamlabs OBS is a derivative product. They wait for OBS to make updates, and then they repackage the updates, put their stuff over it, and sell it as their own product. Which it's well within their right to do. I believe they follow all the legal stuff about the way that that works. Oh, we just won Basin. Let's go next. I spoke to Roddy about your setup. He loves you, of course. Things you're using are wild. All these features that scare him on your stream. Oh, yeah. I've gotten it to the point where it doesn't crash anymore, though. I think it's been like a month and a half, maybe a month since we've had a crash on stream. It's been pretty... I feel like I've ironed out a lot of kinks. I've been working directly with some of the developers of OBS and these plugins over the last couple of weeks with submitting feedback and certain particular bugs getting ironed out. But because I run multiple renditions of my stream, OBS originally, it could only use the CPU to do scaling, and the CPU is grossly inefficient compared to the graphics card when it comes to scaling video up and down. So that's why the update for OBS that makes everything use GPU scaling is so amazing. I would not be able to run my stream right now on the previous build, because even though my computer is incredible, and even though my streaming PC is incredible, CPU is just literally not good at doing that specific type of scaling. So just this one beta update. Now, do you guys want to know something incredible, though? There is still a bug, and I can make it crash at any point. But the combination of stuff that I'm using right now, I am waiting for a fix. I cannot delete any sources. I cannot delete any sources from my stream. So if I add something on accident and then I try to delete it, or if I hit, Control Z to undo it, the whole thing hard crashes immediately. Then I reboot it and it's just fine again. But that's about it. That's the only bug that I'm aware of that obviously, I don't really trigger that one on stream, because I'm never messing with my sources while I'm streaming. I'm certainly never deleting anything while I'm streaming. But also, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to just, it's pretty easy to fix the other way. So sounds like a RAM error. Well, if you would like to know what the OBS developer who I spoke to said about it, according to them, it mostly just has to do with the fact that there are a lot of very popular plugins that people use. There's a lot of very popular plugins that people use, and those are just typically... Here's what I'm going to do. We'll just wait for him to queue up. As soon as he's in-game, we'll search for a match. But there's, plugins that people are using that do their own scaling, and they use the original. So imagine this. They use an internal API call to the scaling aspect of OBS, except they have not updated their internal call engine to actually use the new scaler because it's a beta and the plugin is not for the beta. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I just want you to think of it that way. So that's really about it. That's really about it. So when you try to do a specific action, your plugin can actually end up causing it to conflict with which call it's going for internally because it's a major rewrite. It's a major rewrite. Yeah. But the OBS developers that I've spoken to about this specific crash, most people say the same thing. You can just boot it up in safe mode, which disables all plugins, and then delete your sources if they're really an issue. But when you click the eyeball thing, that hides your source where it's not being displayed. That usually means it's not loading at all anymore. So you don't need to delete it. You can just hide it. And as long as it's not showing up anywhere, it's not going to load or take up system resources. So that's why it's not really like a big deal type thing. That's why it's not a big deal. Hey, Mike Sixers. Yeah, those are all the kinds of things that are getting worked on and fixed. When I talk to you guys about this stuff, I hope you know, I know that I spend way more time studying this than any of you. I don't mean any insult, but I'm aware of my own competency with this. I'm not asking for your advice or help. I just assumed that the guy asking in chat wanted to learn a little bit more about it. If you guys ever have questions about the technical side of streaming, there are very few people on this earth that know more than I do, so I got you. That's one of the few things I can claim. So when you're working for your Fortune 500 company and they say, how the fuck do we hire a guy that knows OBS Studio inside and out? Then you tell him you know a dude. You know a dude who's looking for work. I'll be your head OBS technician. No problemo. Nate the Tech Giga Chad. Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Most people who stream don't know OBS that well. The dirty little secret of the streamer industry is that the majority of streamers, the vast majority of streamers, ask somebody else for help once, and then they just run with that forever. And then usually if they have enough money to pay the person to help them make it better, that's what they do. But the majority of streamers that you know are relatively incompetent as far as actually any awareness of how OBS itself works. Which is not a diss to them. There's plenty of people who drive cars that have no idea how cars work. There's plenty of people that use computers for their job all day long that don't have any idea how computers work. It's not really like that crazy of a notion. I don't even mean it in any sort of insulting way. I'm just saying lots of people use tools. Lots of people use tools that they have no understandings of the inner machinations of. But I like breaking things, and I like having a competitive advantage for being able to provide a more stimulating show than other people. Even if that stimulation is just, me getting baited by chat. But eventually AI will solve that too, so nothing to worry about. Imagine I just train the model, you just feed it every single permaban comment from every Starcraft channel. And then boom. When somebody like tries to find that 700th way to rewrite the band name, and the AI is just like, oh, we got him. We got him. We'll get there eventually. Dear AI, please do 100 million permutations of this isn't Starcraft. And if anything that ever triggers this gets noticed in chat, delete message. Oh, it's going to be great when we have that technology. I can't wait. I can't wait. Big businesses will use it to ruin things you love. Small people like me that can't afford to hire people to work on my stuff, though, at least we'll be able to leverage that in some way. Could you imagine? You imagine? We've already got it for captions. We've already got it for the camera. We've already got it for the microphone. We've already got it for the graphics in the game now. What am I most excited about in AI in general? Do you want me to be realistic or do you want me to be idealistic? Realistically, AI already helps me with my job a lot. I use AI every single day. I'm using it in multiple different ways right now. Two very obvious ways. And one way that only affects me that none of you are aware of. Yeah, you dead. You dead. Yo, this guy was just trying to kill me really, really hardcore, huh? Crazy. Crazy. Just tuning in. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. The second you move out, they push the ramp. Oh, yeah. I got a lot of fans. I got a lot of fans in this game, guys. It's okay. You don't have... People are going to do weird stuff. People are going to do weird stuff. I've got a lot of fans in the Starcraft scene. They don't watch the stream anymore, but there's a lot of people that know me. I don't get super surprised by that stuff. There's a lot of people who see my name and either pull up the stream or they kind of have some idea of what I'm gonna do. I've had a very long, successful career in StarCraft, so I don't get to be anonymous. I don't get to be anonymous like you guys. GG. Let's go next. That face. Oh yeah, he's doing some funky stuff with the... He's doing some funky stuff. What ways are you using AI right now? I can't stop thinking about it. Okay, here's your first hint. Here's your first hint. Does that work? Yeah, you notice there's no green screen behind me, right? Do you think that's a JPEG? Do you think there's a JPEG behind me? Yeah, just like that. It's that easy. No big clunky screen behind me at all. It's incredible. It's incredible. Sometimes the only reason why I even play on my actual name anymore is just so I can lose to people and make them feel good because they beat somebody famous. I don't really think I'm famous anymore, but most of these guys still think I do, so it's kind of like a pick-me-up. I got you, Double Dumb. I appreciate you. Yeah, the other AI thing I'm using is an augmented reality kit for NVIDIA that causes the glow around me to be directly tied to my microphone. But yeah, it actually uses an AI model to determine the... Turn my microphone into a meter that can be leveraged to activate other things on this stream. So theoretically, I could have my microphone going quiet or going loud. I could have it do anything. I could make it so that if I'm not talking at all, there's like some sort of weird idle thing over me that shows I'm being quiet. Like, I mean, there's a million different things I could do. That's kind of the cool, it's kind of the cool thing about it. Is this the real Nate or AI? When Nathan never gets salty again and is only his best self and has 10 million viewers, then you'll know it's AI Nathan. I've never been good at faking a smile. You guys know that. That's why I'm so miserable.
What? No.
I've got a good resting bitch face, so if I don't force myself to smile, most people just think I'm upset all the time. I'm very used to it. Oh, he just looks so disinterested. I'm just like looking at this person, thinking about what they're saying and what I want for dinner that night, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. You haven't really said anything funny. But if you say that, then they get upset. So you gotta play your part. You gotta play your part. It's like some people wear a mask so that they can try to appeal to other people, but I just don't do that. I just don't do that. Was that AI practically? What about idealistically? I'd like for, I mean, if I could pick, if I could envision what models could do, you know what I would really like? I would like to be able to generate an endless track that's copyright free for my stream so that I can have audio without having to spend thousands of dollars for a license that I can't afford, you know? That would be nice. Idealistically, being able to use that technology to protect myself from, you know, whether it's derivative or otherwise, you know what I mean? That's one thing I think about. Medicine would be huge. I read an article about somebody who used one of the earlier rudimentary ChatGPT things and asked them a question about possible things that they could have for a specific condition because their doctor had maybe missed something, and it turned out that the thing that they had ended up potentially seeing in this list that they got was something that when they asked their doctor specifically about it and they looked for that specific thing, they actually found it and saved the person's life. So I don't know if that was fake. I really can't be sure, but I'd like to think it wasn't. And I'd like to think that the biggest thing AI will do is force humans who are too egotistical or ignorant to think that they could ever be wrong to have to consider other options, and that hopefully that helps. You know, the human element is always a tough part. It's kind of like how a patient tells a doctor that maybe they feel a certain way, and the doctor's like, everybody says this, which means I don't have to listen to you. And then you're like, well, now you've got one more person that isn't being served anymore because there's just been an assumption about their intelligence being made, and they get completely ignored, you know? But I like the idea that you could potentially have a slightly less biased third party to bounce ideas off of, you know? Stuff like that I think is big. But like, you got, from my perspective, I'm a sole proprietor, right? I'm a sole proprietor. I'm a contractor. I have like 99% of my income, like 99.9% of my income goes entirely towards my well-being and my family's well-being. I don't have thousands of dollars to go pay for some huge thing to do this or that or the other thing, right? But on some level, small business people need to be able to compete with mega corporations that can simply pay for the rights to everything. So on that regard, it would be nice, but I'd probably prefer just an overall redo of copyright law in general. But I've got a shocking suspicion that if they ever do redo the DMCA, it's not going to favor small businesses. So just a little, you know, for some reason, I just can't imagine that's what will happen. But it would be cool. It would be cool. Yeah, diagnosing car problems. Yeah, exactly. The trick isn't to ask it for the problem. The trick is to give as much information as you can and ask for what all of the possible things are, and then you use your actual critical thinking skills to help narrow it down. That's where I find it's most useful. That's where I find it's most useful. The machine, you can't give the machine context. You can try, but really what you should take advantage of is its ability to tie those threads together that may be unrelated so that you can at the very least assess them on a one individual case by case basis. I think that's where the value comes from more than anything else. It may not even be accurate, but the fact that it can be the third person in the room that says, hey, it could be this. And however unlikely, this is on the table. Like, Having that voice in the room is very important. Very, very important. And you may not feel that way, and that's completely fine, but that's how I feel. Having that third voice is a big deal. He's got lots of mutas. He's got lots of mutas. All right, let's go next. Yeah, great for brainstorming. Exactly. It produces it statistically, it ends up being like really bad about like how giving specific answers, it seems it's incorrect very often. But if you ask it for a variety of possible answers, it will give you that very, very effectively. Like it's really good at that. Also want to give a big thanks to Hampleman for the sub. Happy birthday, Nate. Hope you have a good birthday and even better next year. Thanks for your years of hard SC2 work. We love your content. Again, best wishes from Germany. I got a lot of big fans from the Starcraft scene in Germany. And they're all incredible people. All incredible people. Thank you. I like that you don't care about points anymore. Makes it refreshing. Well, you know what I realized? The guy that would come into chat and complain that I'm not playing ranked is the absolute last person whose opinion I would ever care about. So, all I have to do is not play ranked, and those people self-select themselves out anyway. It's amazing. Exactly, it's a tool. You can use it to do stuff, but it doesn't solve your problems, you know? There's a lot of different ways you can use an axe, but the axe itself is not going to just magically fix things for you. I didn't notice you weren't playing ranked. Yeah, I mean, ranked and unranked are the same thing, so you can still get games. Plus, by playing unranked, my MMR is a little lower, and that means I only get to play on US West, which is why I do it. That's the big reason. If I played ranked, I would probably be getting put on Australia, Brazil, US East, Singapore, etc. But, like, you know, there's nothing you can really gain from ranked as a content creator. The only thing that would happen is you guys would look at the number and think, ooh, bad person because bad number, which is, like, super fucked up anyway. So, I'm not even opening the door, man. I'm not even opening the door to that. Hell nah. Thanks, Double Dumb. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I just like the game. You know? Starcraft 2 is one of those games I want to play forever and ever. I don't ever want to give this up. We're doing really well this year with our goal to get StarCraft 2 to a place where it's not our main game anymore and we can just play it for fun and not worry about anything. Once Stormgate is out this summer, I think that'll help a lot. That'll be like our main game, and then I'll just do streams like this where it's just like, hey guys, on a Saturday or a Sunday, I'm just going to boot up SC2 for a few hours. If you want to hang out, great, you know, and if you don't, that's fine too, but I'm so ready for StarCraft 2 to be a game that I just play for fun, you know, and never worry about seriously. I don't want to depend on this game. I have no future in it, right? So, as much as I love it, it's never going to be a job for me again like it used to be. So, that's just an adjustment that I've been making the last year and a half. Yeah, I think Zero Space is probably aiming for a later release than Stormgate, so I don't know that that's something that they're going to really be doing a whole lot of. I think the next test phase for Zero Space is in March, so I'll probably stream it when that phase is available. But as you guys know, my goal for this year, by the end of this year, the two main games on this channel are going to be Stormgate and Zero Space. If you would like me to do more StarCraft, that's fine. You can support the stream and make that be known, and I will listen. But Starcraft will never be the main thing I do again. If somebody wants to hire me to cast a tournament and tell me that I need to care a little bit more, then sure. But otherwise, this is my hobby. This is my hobby. This is something I do for fun, and I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks about it, including you. I'm just here to hang out with you guys because it's my birthday, and this is what I wanted to do. I could have played Stormgate very easily today. Probably would have had a blast. It's just not what I wanted to do. Not today. Way more people have been showing up for those streams, too. Just not what I wanted to do today. Yeah, I said this in the Discord, but as much as I love all of this stuff, I'm never gonna be bitter or hung up on it. I've got nothing but good memories in StarCraft. I just don't have a future in this space. I don't have any future in this space at all, so there's no reason to tie myself to this when I can't get anything out of it. I might as well just play it for fun like every other person does.
Command Center 2.0 ready to go.
He's got his Baneling nest already. Ay, ay, ay.
Add-on done. Swap away.
You're going out for dinner for your birthday? Glad I got to catch you today. God bless you, JW. You're an amazing human being, man. Every time we talk, you've always, you know, you're somebody that I think about a lot. You're somebody that I think about a lot when I think about the years of doing this stuff. I don't know that I've been able to have too much of an impact on that many people, but I just want you to know how proud of you I am. I remember our conversations from a long time ago about all sorts of different stuff and everything. And every time I see you and hear anything good about you, it warms my heart tremendously to know that you are okay and that you are thriving. Thank you. Thank you for swinging by, man. Go have a great rest of your birthday. God bless you, JW. Some people remember the dumb things I say when I get mad losing games on stream. But you know what I remember? I remember that shit. I remember getting blackout drunk with Parting in Stockholm with Hero and Ryung and Solar after Solar won that DreamHack event. That's what I think about when I think about StarCraft. When I reminisce. None of the dumb stuff. Yeah, I mishandled my anxiety and stress a lot. There are some bad actors in the StarCraft space that tried to make it seem like it was more malicious than that, but really, I was just 22 years old. I was 22 years old making a bunch of money having people on the internet tell me that I should hate myself for not being good enough at a video game. That's what happened to me. That's it. That's it. There's nothing more than that, man. You know? I learned my lesson. I tried to make the hardcore, crazy StarCraft people happy, and they threw me aside the moment they were done with me. I learned that lesson a long time ago. But again, like I've said, those people are the minority in the space. They're the minority in the community. The majority of people do not hold those beliefs. I also made the mistake of believing that those people were sincere in the things that they said. The biggest mistake I ever made was believing that I could change their minds. But it was never possible. None of the people that ever had a problem with me were ever going to change their minds. And learning that is what gave me real freedom. Not a single person who's ever come in here to call me a turtle, loser, bad player, bad caster, not a single one of those people would ever be willing to reconsider their position. no matter what I did. And that is the truth. You know why? You know why I know that? Because I suffered through so much bullshit trying to be better, and all those people left. They were just here for the bad times. Sometimes it'd be like that. They didn't want me to be better. They were just upset at themselves for not being as good as they wanted to be, and they just took that out on me. But I was a pretty normal guy. I've always been a pretty normal, boring dude. I've always been a pretty normal, boring guy. Oh yeah, the other important lesson you learn. Nobody will ever give you the benefit of the doubt. That's the other one. That's the other one. At best, you maybe get that from your family. Nobody else, though. Nobody else. No, I had like pro players telling me I made up my anxiety and shit, and they like don't know anything about my life. They don't know anything about me. Think I'm just some crazy person who's here to like screw people over and take their money or some insane shit. It's nuts, man. I got character assassinated so hard. That's another reason why I'm done with that. That was the reason why I told ESL to stop hiring me for stuff. Because they wouldn't ban it in their chats. I was like, you know what? If you guys all agree that this is real and you really hate me this much, I would rather you just don't have me.
Your command center's got some new toys. Upgrade complete.
Life stuff like that, man. You gotta look out. You gotta look out for yourself. Don't try to make everybody happy. It's not possible, and they don't care. It's not about their happiness. It's about them getting you to do what they want you to do. I was just another patsy. I was trying really hard to genuinely do the right thing for a bunch of people that did not give a single fuck at all. The ultimate bait. The ultimate bait. But now the real fans know. Because we were there, right? We were at all those tournaments. We did all those events. We raised so much money for charity. We raised so much money for amateur tournaments, for amateur pro players. Like, bro, we've got a fucking record, man. We crushed it. We changed lives. I changed lives. I busted my ass so hard for so many years. I've got absolutely no regrets. I wouldn't have learned any of those lessons without any of that dumb shit anyway. Things have never been better. Now I'm married to the love of my life. I got people around me that care about me. And the only people that tune into my stream are people that actually want to watch. I've made it so boring for the trolls. Hardly any of them show up. We didn't even have to ban anybody from chat today. It's incredible. It's incredible. Life is good. Nobody's even harassing me on in-game chat. The last time, every time I try to stream with chat turned on, some guy always comes in to say the most unhinged shit imaginable. That's not even happening anymore. I feel free. Untethered. That's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. I'm not taking that base, but I appreciate that you're still trying to deny it. Beautiful game.
Mind out a mineral field. Good thing you've got more of those, right?
We got so many battle cruisers, dude.
Mind out some of your mineral field.
Yeah, he mostly just keeps bouncing to the outermost base that I'm going for. But he otherwise just kind of completely ignores everything. He's playing like about as turtly of a Zerg style as you really get. Obviously, I'm turtling because we're massing battle cruisers, in case you haven't noticed. Yeah, Miro, your question's way too serious. Try again. Here we go. Is he coming for us one more time? Hell yeah. GG. Look at that. The performance is so much better on Vulcan, too. So much better. It's beautiful. Look how many battle cruisers, man. This was all I wanted for my birthday right here. I think I said that at the start of the stream, right? I think I said that at the start of the stream. All I wanted was one crazy-ass max-out game of BCs versus Zerg, and we got it, man. We got it. We got it. Beautiful. No, the FPS is still doing really well. It's still holding over 100 FPS with the Vulcan running. It definitely gets a bit lower usually with this many units. We got the meat too. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, battle cruisers are really good. Battle cruisers are really good. I'm not thinking about strategy, though. We're not talking about anything serious. Yeah, 117 FPS with all those BCs firing at once is great. Oh, this is my babe right here. This is Katie. She's limited edition, shadowless, holographic, and yeah, all of the
Like
other.
a Pokemon.
Yeah, well,
I'm not a
I mean,
Pokemon card.
I'd say you're priceless. I don't know. Katie has words.
Hello.
That was a message from your local Katie.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
Do you know it's your birthday?
Is it?
You're 31 now.
yeah, I'm 31.
Almost.
That's it.
Well, that's it.
Is this where I stop telling people it's my birthday?
No, you gotta do it even more. See, Lewis is here too.
The pooch is trying to
Hello,
crawl up here as well.
Gillian, hi. Big juicy smochars. Hello to you too, ma'am. Oh my God.
Yeah, Mrs. Fabricant. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, I'm married now, and you're married legally
Yes.
and tribally.
Eh,
We got married in Fortnite and in VR chat. You're adorable. Stop it. No, you. Look at this man. He's playing Starcraft. Who would have thought? Who'd have thought this man playing
know.
a game about space and dinosaurs?
Dinosaur?
There's a dinosaur in one of those maps. You know, you said it's a creature or something. He likes Olive Garden. Yeah. Going on so formal. I know. Huh? Isn't there a no? There's okay. There was a map you played on
It's because, well,
with the dinosaur.
some of the critters definitely look like dinosaurs. I think that's fair. Also, I do play as Dahaka, who is kind of like Godzilla.
There was a dinosaur. Okay, no, but we were. There was one of these things we were casting, and like the what's his face? Who's my favorite guy that makes the guy?
Hero.
Hero was making his units going in a circle, and it was really cute. And there was a dinosaur on the map, and then he nuked it.
Yeah, she's talking about the critter. The Ursidon is probably a dinosaur.
Isn't he a dinosaur?
Yeah, there's a couple of dinosaur-looking mother truckers that walk around the map. Yeah.
I mean, you're in the game. I'm just kidding, you're very handsome. I love
I
you.
do. I guess that's a Starcraft. I guess anybody that plays Starcraft is a dinosaur at this point. That's fair.
I don't know about that.
That's fair.
You having fun?
I was talking about how. Well, we didn't talk about this on stream yet today, but
What?
my dad bought the Starcraft battle chest in 2004, and I was 11 years old. That's when I started playing Starcraft.
In 2004, you're 11?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. So I've been playing Starcraft for this will make it 20 years now. Isn't that crazy?
After you guys have each other, don't get too wild tonight. We're gonna get so wild. We're gonna get a root beer float in a bowling pin.
That's
It's gonna
right.
be pretty wild. It's gonna be crazy. They're gonna kick us out of there. He's not allowed to have fun. Who's letting Nate have fun? Birthday dinner dish? It's up to Nate. There is plenty of options on the table. If he wants tendies, boom, there's a place for that.
Yeah, they got tendies at the bowling alley too.
Got
It's right there.
fajitas,
It's right there.
margaritas.
We might
Fashions.
we might have to get a margarita
Might have to
before.
get, like,
we might
one-
have to
one-
we might
one
have
or
to
two.
we might have 1 to 2 margaritas
One to
before
two.
we start.
Maybe 3 or 4, 7 or 8, 44. No, that's not old. You know. I think you're what is it called? Spry young chicken. Yes. Let him have fun. Okay, just on his birthday, he's allowed to have fun once a year.
Now I need to hear your thoughts on this, since
Uh-huh.
Stormwind brought it up. But the Zerg are actually allergic to lemon juice, and cats also hate lemon juice.
Zergs are cats, confirmed. Right?
Actually, Cats is a Zerg player, so you're correct on there
I
as well.
love him. He's very
Yeah.
nice.
He's
With
great.
a palo. He's
He's great.
got the fur coat, and he's very
Yeah,
handsome.
he's been very needlessly generous to me in the last 6 months. I love you, Paolo. He's good. He's one of 5 people that believes in me. I love that man.
There's more than 5.
If I've got people that I pray to, Cats is on that list. I love that man.
Hosting an ultra risk with nothing but lemon. They need to put lemons in this game. Come on, intern. I know you're managing all the servers, but you've got time to import one new game thing. You know, lemons.
They have like the
Aw.
they have like the fake news segments during the StarCraft campaign, and there's like on the ticker, it's like fake, like they just put the random news tidbits and they say housewife says that spraying lemon zest cleaner keeps Zerg away, and then when they release the next expansion, there's a small tidbit where you're playing as Zerg, and one of like the Zerg architect guys is like, hey, we just have to remember we avoid lemons, guys. They're bad for us. And someone's like, it's real. But yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's like the Portal 2, Cave Johnson. When life gives you lemons, you give it right back to life, and then you what is it? You burn life's house down or something like that with the lemons. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Lemons don't really have a lot of usable calories. They're difficult to eat. So.
One time, one time we did cast together KSL, and it was a pretty fun time. That was a good time. We should bring that back one of these days.
Yeah, for sure.
Got a package.
I got a package. It says a package arrived.
We're talking about mail.
Talking about mail. Sorry, I'm looking down. It's my watch.
And then to turn around and lose right here.
Lewis is here. I'm gonna press the button.
Yeah.
Lewis is. Oh, he's climbing behind. He's climbing.
Hello!
Yeah, that's.
He's in his dinosaur era.
Come here.
I have it for him. He destroyed a toy, so you might see a little bit of fuzzies. Gigantic lemon bomb. Ooh, yes. He is, he's been mostly good. He was barking at a dog earlier, like last night. Barking at a random dog. We got a bottle. We got a Cascade ice in her mouth. We have so many toys, and yet we choose water bottle. That's a choice. Oh, Jeremy Renner's in the chat.
Oh.
Let him go. Adorable. Witness me, doggy. Lou, not much to say. When you decide you want a golden retriever, and then you're like, darling, let's go get a golden retriever, and like right now, let's leave and let's go meet some a nice couple in a van in the middle of Compton. You just don't ask too many questions.
He's got an eye booger.
Oh no!
I got it. You're
Oh,
good.
good.
You're good.
Come on.
He had an eye booger. I got it. He was taking a nap.
Hawkeye is here. Let's go. Big fan of your big fan of your work and your one song that played in the Ford commercials, or was it Toyota? Either way. Mojitos are marks. It's up to birthday boy. It's up to
It's
birthday
probably
boy.
margaritas. There's really good margaritas. There's really good margaritas where we're gonna be. So.
There was two dogs, and they told us that Lewis was the calmer one, and that was a lie. That was a lie.
That was a lie.
That was a
Yeah,
scam.
they totally baited us so they could keep the quiet, calm dog.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Groom Loom.
We groom him. We clean
we
him.
brush him a lot.
We brush him. We clean. We make because golden retrievers, their fur gets matted really easily.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they are waterproof, like they can get, especially like behind their ears and their scruff and stuff. So we're very careful about being very delicate with him when it comes to that. He's also
Yeah.
very sensitive.
He's
so
a really good dog. He lets us, when he needs a trim or something like that, needs a bath, he'll jump in the bath with us.
he will
which
get
is a
in
concern.
the. Yeah, one time he felt so unclean, he just climbed in. So
Mm-hmm.
which.
Not the same story with the cat. She's
No.
not great. But when we have to give her a bath, Lou will actually stand guard and paw her back into the bath. So
Yeah, Lewis plays goalie when Kiki's in the bathtub. So
great dog. Yeah, always grooming him. There's always at least I don't know, a couple pounds of fur around this apartment. So
I vacuumed the office. I tried to anyway.
It was an attempt.
Regularly. Every single time, it's always completely full. On half of the room, it's full of just nothing but golden hair. So
Lou versus the Dyson.
it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
It gets on your microphone.
It is all over the microphone. It doesn't stop.
Like, can you bring this in?
It's all over the microphone. It's on me.
I know
Well,
we're
it's on
both
us
wearing
now.
black. This is
Yeah.
a bad idea. Dogs hate showers but are fine with the bath. Interesting.
Well, he used to come in. Well, when we had the stand-up, when we lived in Vegas, the bathroom had a split. So there was like a bathtub and a separate shower. They had both. So if I went into the walk-in shower and I left the door open, Lewis would just go in there too.
Yeah.
He's weird. He's not really scared of anything
And then immediately dive onto me as he is soaking wet.
because he has
And,
to dry off in the bath in the
yeah,
bed. So
yeah,
those
he has
those
to-
blankets are very dry. Great for a dog to roll around in.
That's true. Not dog hair. It's puppy glitter. Is that what you said? Puppy glitter?
Oh.
I'm so gonna use that from now on. Shaking afterwards. Oh, it's always a mess. He has to shake everywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I'll let you get back to your star bags.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're good. I love you.
I love you.
I'm probably gonna. I don't know. That last game was really good. Do I really want to pull the slot again and find out if I lose? Maybe not. Okay. I think we've done it. I think 3.5 hours is perfect. we're gonna get ready for a fun day of adventure and misadventure. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
And just to be as clear as I possibly can, the whole entire point of today's show
If you don't kiss in this
was
room, it'll be just a flip.
the whole entire point of today's show was just to get you guys over here for a little bit of bands. I appreciate everybody so much. We've been through so much over the years. Normally, I wouldn't have a life or a family to spend this much time on for my birthday, and we would play for 12 hours, and I'm sure it would be a great time. But I'm very happily at a point in my life where I have other things that are more important to me, and it's got nothing to do with you guys. You make it happen. I love you. I appreciate you. But I'm gonna go spend some time with some people that mean a lot to me. So
What is this pose?
God bless you guys. This is trying to hold Katie while keeping my hand on the mouse so I can switch the scene when I'm done with the sentence. I love you. I'll see you guys for the stream tomorrow.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.